This morning. All right. Good Friday morning, everybody. I'm Charly Edsitty. Jacob Rascone has the morning off, and welcome to First at 4. Thanks for joining us. Meteorologist Elita Loresca here with our first look at weather, and I know you were busy working the evening shift yesterday, so we're happy to see you made it to work this morning.
Yes, I'm so happy as well. Nice little power nap before coming to work. I'll tell you what, Charly, the last couple mornings we've been detailing some fog. Not as bad this morning. A live look outside from our memorial camera. We've got pretty good visibility right now locally around Harris County at the airport, where that's where our sensor and our observation site is. Earlier this morning when I came in, there was a little bit of fog there. That's lifted. So right now it's reporting a clear sky with temperature readings running a couple degrees warmer compared to yesterday. But those temperatures have dropped from yesterday's highs in the upper 80s. We're now sitting in the lower 60s. A little bit of fog kind of in the same areas as we saw yesterday. Seeing a little bit of fog around the city of Magnolia, Montgomery County, Tomball. No dense fog advisories for us. There is some dense fog, though, out toward Beaumont and southwest Louisiana. That's where we do have some dense fog advisories. A little bit of fog as well down toward Victoria. Quick check of temperature readings where you live, and you can see mostly in the 60s this morning. Upper 60s in Katy and in Sugar Land. As we move you through future track, a few scattered clouds by this afternoon. The low clouds are expected to lift. We may see some additional cloud cover over the next few hours. So we'll be watching those visibilities very closely. And you can see a stray rain shower or two coming in on that sea breeze, that breeze out of the Gulf. So today, the rain chances will be slim, but not completely at zero. So we've built in at least a 10% chance you might encounter a brief rain shower, mainly south of Interstate 10. Otherwise, you've got temperatures headed back in the upper 80s to low 90s, still challenging some records. We'll talk about the weekend forecast and what's ahead with our rain chances for next week coming up in just a few minutes, Charly.
Okay, sounds good. Well, the race for the White House is coming to Texas today, and the visits come as the first week of early voting comes to a close and just 10 days before Election Day. Former President, and only on 13, a pilot for the Harris County Sheriff's Office is describing the moments his chopper was hit by a laser beam. ABC 13's Alex Bazarjian is at Hooks Airport and found out this dangerous trend is taking off. Let's go, Joe. All right, still to come this morning on First at 4, 8 million more Americans are now eligible for student debt relief. The criteria just released with the latest round of forgiveness. Welcome back. President Biden is in Arizona today to issue a formal apology for the federal government's role in Indian boarding schools. The schools, which ran from 1819 to 1969, removed thousands of indigenous children from their culture in an effort to adapt them into white society. Now, Biden will be the first U.S. president to apologize for those schools. A federal report found that 973 children died in the boarding school system, which included 417 schools across 37 states, or at that time, territories. And there were also reports of sexual assault and physical abuse. Now, Biden's visit to the battleground state is also taking place with less than 2 weeks until the election. And Native Americans make up more than 5% of Arizona's population, which could be pivotal for Vice President Kamala Harris in this close race. And First at 4, the Biden administration has announced a new policy designed to relieve the debt of 8 million Americans facing financial move. Texas is leading the nation in one industry that doesn't take years of training to break into. We'll help you find your next career coming up after. Well, yet again, the DNA lab in the Woodlands is helping solve a cold case, but this time it's 150 years old.
Charly, I'll tell you what, no surprises here. We knew going into our update yesterday that most likely we would see the drought situation worsen, because we haven't seen rain since September 24th, and it's been just abnormally dry and hot. This is what the drought monitor looked like last week, and then as of yesterday, now we are in severe drought over the western parts of our viewing area out toward the hill country. We're also seeing some severe drought expansion out toward the hill country, out toward Beaumont and southwest Louisiana. Here's that severe weather drought. Some of the counties involved: northern parts of Austin County, Washington County, portions of Navasota, up toward College Station, Caldwell, Somerville, all of these areas and many other locations across the state where the rain just isn't coming soon enough enough. We've got some rain chances built in as we get into early next week. But even when we see those rain chances and you look at the potential rain amounts, it is really not going to help our situation ease the drought. But this is a start. Seeing some green on the map is always a good thing, especially when you're in a drought. Some of the heaviest of rain is going to be confined across the central and northern plains up toward the Midwest is where they're going to see as much as 2, maybe 3 inches of rain. For us, we're going to be monitoring a cold front. That'll be the focus point of some of these showers and storms next week. There'll be some isolated thunderstorms for us, periods of heavy rain mainly across the northern parts of our state. Right now, it doesn't look like that front is going to deliver any sort of relief because it doesn't look like it's going to be swinging all the way through. We're going to continue to watch that, and as we get closer to the event, we'll be able to fine-tune that forecast. But for now, most of our computer models are showing that front drifting back up to the north. So we'll be on the warm and humid side of that front. This morning, not feeling too bad out there with a temperature reading of 64 degrees. Galveston this morning, it's mild at 73. There is a light breeze flowing in from the Gulf out of the south-southeast, generally between 5 to 15 mile per hour winds for today. Some patches of fog here and there. Not quite as widespread as we've been dealing with the last couple of mornings. And by this afternoon, we've got some sunshine once again. Now, in addition to that sunshine, there could be a few clouds moving through along that sea breeze that may prompt an isolated rain shower. Unfortunately, overnight tonight into tomorrow morning, there is going to be the potential for more widespread looking low clouds and fog. So just keep that in mind for those of you with early morning, maybe t-ball games or soccer games. There could be some fog in and around some of those fields. But here's a look at future track. A spotty rain shower for today will go from temperature readings in the mid to upper 60s to highs in the upper 80s to low 90s. We'll be challenging some records yet again this afternoon around the Houston area, and then overnight those temperatures falling into the 60s. We'll be monitoring the air quality. Thankfully today, the air quality improving to moderate through the weekend, and then as we get into next week, we'll slowly start to see that Gulf moisture increase as our clouds will, and then those rain chances here Thursday peaking at 30%. We'll see the drop in temperature readings getting at least a little bit closer to normal, Charlie.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Elita. Well, a Colorado court has to address the elephant in the room, so to speak. Do elephants deserve the same legal protections as humans when they're held captive? ABC's Andrea Fujii has more on the case to help get the animals out of captivity. Welcome back. New video shows a neighbor save a young girl from an attempt to kidnap her. We still have a lot more news, weather, and traffic coming up at 4:30, so let's check in with Samica and Rita for a look at what they're working on. Good morning, my friend.
Good morning. It is 4:45, and the infamous Menendez brothers could get a chance at freedom.
Yeah, the Los Angeles County District Attorney is officially recommending to the court that Lyle and Eric Menendez be resentenced for murder and that their current sentence of life without parole be removed. To this now, pop culture is helping local police shine a light on a dangerous intersection in Katy.
A viral TikTok video shows more than 100 people waiting for court after they were all ticketed by the same cop. While in Tennessee, a homeowner that has a history of Halloween decorations is now being haunted by a city flag ordinance. This is near Nashville.
Yeah, so here's the deal. The city of Franklin has an ordinance of only 3 flags allowed per lot. It's 1:48, and as we start getting the candy coming in for Halloween, dietitians, though, are warning all of us to keep an eye on food dye.
There's that. While most colorful candies are sweet treats, some could apparently cause adverse reactions for Halloween right around the corner next week.
Yeah, ABC's Allison Cossack has the details on the frightening and hilarious costumes we can expect to see this year.
Friday morning, everybody. It's great to see you. I'm Rita Garcia.
And I'm Samica Knight. Hey, Friday. So good to see you. Sorry, I'm okay. Okay, let's talk to meteorologist Elita Loresca, who is really happy it's Friday because...
You're feeling it. I get it.
Girl, like all the way.
Yes, all the way. I'm feeling it as well. Weather-wise for today, we've got a little bit of fog out there, but we had some winds that developed overnight, so it's helped mix out the atmosphere where we're not dealing with the widespread cloud coverage that we forecast for you about the weekend, along with those rain chances for next week coming up in just a few minutes. Good morning, Samica. Before we take you to break, want to first give you a look at your weather and health report. Yesterday's counts coming in extremely high for elm tree pollen. Adding that to the ragweed pollen, may need to consider upping those meds, those allergy medications. Mold spores in the moderate range. Meanwhile, air quality was unhealthy yesterday, looking at moderate for today. And looking ahead into the hour-by-hour forecast today, slim rain chance. We're talking 10%. Otherwise, look for temperature readings to warm near record levels. We'll talk about those rain chances ahead coming up.
On the East Tex Freeway right at Cross Timbers, you can see through our Houston TransStar cameras. I know it's a little fuzzy, this camera shot, but trust me, it is there. You see flashing lights, and you've got backup as well, because you can see all the inbound lanes right now. They are currently blocked, so people are not getting by. Your alternate is going to be to take the Hardy Toll Road this morning. And we've also got some gridlock alerts that could slow down your weekend plans, so we're going to talk about that. There's a major one that starts tonight. It starts at 9 p.m.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Samica Knight.
Welcome to it. The weekend is upon us, with it being Friday morning, everyone. I'm Rita Garcia. Let's kick things off with our meteorologist, Elita Loresca, and a look at the forecast for today. That fog, looking ahead.
Yeah, we've got a little bit of fog this morning, Rita. Not as bad as the last couple of mornings. That's one piece of good news. So for those of you that may have kind of a later start this morning, some of you may be A-okay as you're not having to maneuver through that lower ceiling over that. And of course, what's ahead for next week and some of the changes we can anticipate as we get closer toward Halloween.
Thanked for now and today, Texas may seem more like a battleground state. Both presidential candidates are in the Lone Star State just 10 days before Election Day.
Former President Donald Trump is going to be in Austin, and Vice President Kamala Harris here in Houston. ABC 13's Charly live with how all of this is going to affect us traffic-wise, right? Hi, Charly.
Hey, good morning to you, Rita and Samica. Yeah, definitely expect some traffic delays today. So the Harris campaign has not said where or when their event is going to be happening later on today. But of course, you can expect all of the road closures and, of course, all the traffic that comes with events of this magnitude. And also expect security to be incredibly tight for tonight's event as well. And so and historically speaking, Texas has been a pretty popular campaign stop throughout the years. But it is different that presidential candidates are here so close to Election Day, something that is often reserved for swing states. And so this isn't new, though. So we dug into the archives here, and candidates who have done the same thing visited Texas pretty close to the election. George W. Bush visited Dallas the night before the 2004 election, and Bill Clinton actually visited the Lone Star State just 6 days before the 1992 election. And so coming up later today, our very own political expert, Tom Abrams, will have some in-depth analysis about what this means and also how rare it is to see two candidates for president coming to the Lone Star State so close to Election Day and also at the same time. And so we'll have that coming up for you a little bit later on today. Charly, Edsitty, ABC 13 Eyewitness News.
Looking forward to the updates, Charly. Thank you. Harris County just scored a legal victory over a new version of its controversial guaranteed income program to tell you about as Charly goes ahead and sets up for her next live appearance. We'll see her soon. The county attorney says that a judge denied the state's attempt to shut down what it calls the Community Prosperity Program, and it'll give select families who live well below the poverty line preloaded debit cards with restrictions on what can be bought with those cards. So this program was developed after Texas successfully stopped a similar program. It was called Uplift Harris, that had no restrictions on how the money could be spent. And at this point, it's unclear if the state will appeal the decision.
Well, new this morning, Welcome back. It is 5:43 now, and today the fate of the infamous Menendez brothers will once again rest in the hands of a judge.
The Los Angeles County District Attorney will officially recommend to the court that Lyle and Eric Menendez be resentenced for murder and that their current sentence of life without parole be removed.
ABC's Andrew Fujii has the details. Well, supporters say the brothers are different men now, both married and active students. It could take more than a month, though, before the judge takes up that case.
State environmental regulators are weighing whether to allow SpaceX to regularly dump industrial wastewater in South Texas. I know a little someone whose family is going to be on point. Alita. Good morning, everyone. I'm Rita Garcia.
And I'm Samica Knight. Wait, what?
Well, Rita remembers that a few weeks ago we were talking about costumes, and she guessed it right. Me and a couple of the ladies that are hosting a party are going to be characters.
And you don't
Inside Out.
Do you have your costume yet? Did you say?
No.
No, not yet. Okay, yeah.
Come on, girl.
Same.
I know.
Chop, chop, Rita.
No. Well, I got like half of it in. I got the skirt in yesterday, and I was like, I still haven't even tried it in. It's like,
That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, so we'll see.
That's awesome.
See, we're getting ready. Hopefully
Yeah.
you're getting ready.
In Natalie's picture, nothing like that in our forecast, right?
Not anytime soon, unfortunately, Rita, and we definitely need it. I mean, when we take a look at the drought situation.
Texas, of course, is not considered a battleground state, which makes these visits so interesting, especially so close to Election Day.
Well, ABC 13's Charly Edsitty joining us live this morning on this. Charly, good morning to you.
Hey, good morning to you, Samica and Rita. Yeah, it's interesting. You would typically see this type of campaigning happening in places like Pennsylvania or Arizona, especially this close to Election Day. But nonetheless, both candidates for president are here. Candidates to stop in Texas, but it is pretty rare for both candidates to be stopping in the state this close to the election. But we did dig into the archives and find that George W. Bush visited Dallas the night before the 2004 election, and President Bill Clinton, he visited the Lone Star State just 6 days before the 1992 election. So a little bit of perspective there. And so later on today, we're actually going to hear from our political expert, Tom Abrams. He's going to break down all of the analysis and details about just how rare it is to see two candidates for president showing up to Texas this close to the election. So you don't want to miss out on that. Tom, of course, our expert in the House. And so I'm going to toss it back inside to you. Charly Edsitty, ABC 13 Eyewitness News.
Good morning to Tom Abrams, who probably is up working on election stuff. All right, thank you so much, Charly.
Promised free money to people living in Harris County can move forward. ABC 13's Jeff Ealing live in our newsroom. Hey, Jeff, so this version of the Guaranteed Income Program has a lot of strings attached, apparently.
Yeah, I do need to get to weather, so I'm going to stop right there. But meteorologist Elita Loresca starting us
Anxiety, by the way. That's the character.
Oh, I didn't know where we're going there. Okay. Yep.
The weather gives
Go
you
ahead.
anxiety.
Good morning. Both candidates for president will be paying a visit to the Lone Star State today with just 10 days remaining until Election Day. And so we know that Harris and her campaign will be making. Abrams will have expert political analysis on what it means to have both presidential candidates in the Lone Star State so close to the election. Charly Edsitty, ABC 13 Eyewitness News.
Looking forward to that, Charly. Thank you. Good Morning America also coming up at 7 a.m. right here on ABC 13. And we've got Ginger Z. She's live for us in New York with a preview of what's to come. Hey, Ginger, good morning.
Hey, good morning to you, Rita. Great to be with you. So yes, here on a Friday, we'll start with the latest on the election. And you'll see those stories and so much more right here on GMA.
All right, Ginger, looking forward to it. Thanks so much. We'll talk.
Beautiful sunrise, but I tell you what, traffic is the story today. We'll talk more about all of our traffic troubles we're having this morning.